Yo, what is up, my bearded bros? Bearded Maine-iac here. Sunday, February 24th, NBA game picks and spreads. We got 3 games, so we're going to go a little bit more in depth with them if you don't mind. We have the Magic at the Raptors, a battle of interesting big men. And another reason what makes this so interesting is this does look like another lost season for the Orlando Magic, which is probably the 100th and 80th in the row. But Ibaka versus Vucevic is always a matchup I enjoy watching. Granted, the rest of it, not so much. Toronto's favored by 7.5. They should win and cover. This game's on at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so if you are in one of those local markets, tune in soon to see the game. And you get the Clippers at the Nuggets, 5 p.m. Oh, wait, before I go back to that, I'm going to go back to the Raptors game. One of the things that makes it so interesting is I believe Vucevic is an unrestricted free agent, or he has an option of being a free agent this year at least, whether it's unrestricted or player option, something like that. I think it's unrestricted if I have to take a guess. So to see if a team actually gives him a good offer would be huge, because he's not going to succeed in Orlando, because Orlando is just awful. They're not like one of the worst teams, but they're just good enough to remain bad enough because they don't get one of the top draft picks. And when they do, they don't really pick too well. And you get the Clippers at the Nuggets, NBA TV, 5 p.m. Eastern. Denver favored by 8.5. They should win. They should cover. 40 wins already. Great season for them. Clippers kind of falling apart a little bit, but sticking in, which is good for them. They're still in the playoffs, I believe. I think the Nuggets win. This is not to underestimate the Clippers at all. I just think Jokic is a much better player than anybody on the Clippers. But Patrick Beverley, Danilo, even Shamet, they're all really solid players. And just to put this in retrospect, the fact that Beverley's never really been rated too high on NBA 2K, but he's such a good player still, it's pretty good. Pretty damn good. Interesting thing about this matchup here is Millsap against Danilo Gallinari, I should say. Now, when I look at these two players, and this is just an off shot, so this doesn't really involve the spread, I'm going to pick the Nuggets to win and cover the 8.5 point spread, so I'll get that out of the way first. But the interesting matchup between these two is Paul Millsap. He's what I think about when I think about like a prototypical power forward. He can shoot, doesn't necessarily have like a really knockdown killer shot. He can shoot, he can defend, he's a solid rebounder. He can beat people up physically, but with Gallinari, he reminds me more of a 2 or a 3. He stretches the floor quite often. He can make moves inside the paint. Not necessarily a great rebounder, but he can rebound. So the fact that he's possibly going to match up against Millsap, it's kind of like almost new school versus old school, but I don't want to necessarily say that. It's kind of like I guess finesse versus physicality, something like that. Jokic, though, a beast in this matchup. Then at 7:30 p.m. on part of the back-to-back NBA TV, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. San Antonio is traveling to New York to lay a whooping down on the Knicks. No offense to the Knicks, they are preparing for next year, and New York Knicks fans probably will admit that they are rebuilding for next year. So this is probably a game they don't win, not for lack of trying, but for preparing for next year more so than this year, which is fine, which is perfectly fine. San Antonio, can they possibly solidify a spot in the playoffs? That would be what I'm going to watch for the next few weeks coming in to this game against the Knicks. The Spurs are currently the 7th seed, tied with the Clippers, who have the 8th seed, only half a game back of the Utah Jazz, who have the 6th seed. So this game could be important, especially if the Clippers can win their game against the Nuggets. So it will be a good one. On the road, the Spurs are only 11-20, but at home, the Knicks are one of those rare teams that have a worse record at home than on the road. Should be a fun game. Should be a good one. But I'm going to go Spurs. And I'm going to go with the key there, Rudy Gay, all day. See you guys in the next one. Peace.